What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing good and having a great day. Now in today's video I'm going to be going through the different investment account types available for under 18s. So if you are looking to invest on behalf of a child, or if you're over the age of 16 and you want to start managing your own investments. I'll be going through all the different account options out there, so hopefully you can have a more informed decision as to which one might be right for you in your situation. Now if you are interested in investing and want to know which account type's right for you, but you're over the age of 18, I'll leave a link on the screen now and in the description below to my other video going through the different account options for over 18s. Now just before we get into it, if you are new around here, welcome to the channel, and on this channel we discuss all things money. So whether that's personal finance tips and tricks to credit card reviews, this is the place to be. So if you are new around here and haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell so that you never miss a video. I'd also really appreciate it if you could smash that like button, as it really helps me out and helps out with the YouTube algorithm to get YouTube to share these videos so that more people can see them who might find them useful. But I do appreciate that's a bit cheeky asking before the video's even started. And as always, just as a quick disclaimer, this is in no way financial advice. I'm simply just outlining information and giving my opinions and thoughts. Always make sure to do your own research and due diligence before signing up for anything. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. So whether you're an experienced or beginner investor, the first step to investing is to obviously set up an investment account. So if you've never done this before or never set up a junior account, I'll be going through all the options out there and hopefully making it clearer as to which one might be right for you in your situation. So in the UK, if you're under the age of 18, you'll actually need a parent or guardian to set up an investment account on your behalf. And the parent or guardian can set up these accounts when the child's at any age. Now the advantage of setting up an account in their name on their behalf is that there are usually financial advantages for doing so, which I'll get into. However, the main thing to watch out for is that because the account is in their name, any funds that you actually deposit, you'll no longer be able to withdraw and use them yourself. So if for some reason you like the idea of investing for your child but want the flexibility to withdraw it and spend it yourself if you need to, for example if your circumstances change, you'll be better off making this investment in your own personal account, as any funds that are actually added to a junior account will then be in their name, so it actually becomes their money from that point forward and you'll no longer be able to withdraw it as a parent, guardian or trustee. Now just before we get looking at the investment account options, it's worth noting that with any of these account types, there will usually be transaction charges and fees. Now this will usually be consistent across the different account types with whichever brokerage you're using, but the thing to consider is that usually different brokerages charge different fees, so that might just be something else to watch out for. So with these different account types, sometimes it can be quite clear as to which one might be right for you or for your situation, but sometimes there is a bit of crossover, so I'll try and clarify what the main differences are, so hopefully you can pick which one's right for you. But with that being said, let's get looking at the different options. Okay, so the first account is a junior dealing account. Now these can be named slightly differently depending on which brokerage you're using, but it's basically the bog standard investment account. So the main advantage of a junior dealing account is the flexibility that they offer. So you can deposit as much money as you like into the account and as often as you want to, which is really handy if you have a large sum of money that you want to deposit. But like I said, when the money's actually deposited, the ownership of that money then becomes in the child's name. And once the money's deposited, it can be moved around, but it has to be on behalf of the child's benefit. And any child can be eligible for a junior dealing account, providing that the trustee is a UK citizen or a resident in the European Economic Area. Now all this money that's deposited into the junior dealing account can only be accessed once the child reaches the age of 18, and then it is fully in their ownership to withdraw and spend on whatever they like. And whilst they're under the age of 16, the trustee will have to manage the portfolio themselves, but once the child reaches 16, they can actually start managing it themselves, but they just simply can't withdraw the money until they reach the age of 18. Now the big advantage of being able to add as much funds as you like into a junior dealing account, it does come with a drawback that there are no tax advantages. So even junior investing accounts are liable for taxing. So all investments will be subject to capital gains tax when selling them for a profit. However, every year you're entitled to a capital gains tax allowance, and in 2020 that allowance is £12,300, which means if you're not making profits of more than this when selling shares in a year, you're not going to have to pay any capital gains tax. You'll also be liable for taxing on dividends as well, and dividends are usually taxed as regular income. Now everyone's entitled to a personal allowance of tax-free money that they can earn each year as income, and in 2020 that amount is £12,500. But on top of that, you're also entitled to a dividend allowance each year as well of £2,000. However, if the child's not actually earning any income, they'll actually be entitled to £14,500 of tax-free dividends each year. So that basically covers the junior dealing account. It's probably the best option if you have particularly large sums of money, but I also think it's a good option if you're not investing with a particularly large amount of money as well, because the chances are, unless you're making really significant profits, you're probably not going to be taxed on it anyway. But you'll be able to make the most of the dividend and capital gains tax allowances each and every year. Okay, so next up we have the Junior Stocks and Shares ISA. So the main difference from a junior dealing account is that you're actually limited to a certain amount of money that you can deposit each and every year, and that limit is £9,000, and that actually spreads across any other ISAs that are in the child's name. So if you have an investment ISA and a savings ISA, you'll only actually be able to deposit £9,000 between the two of them each year. Now again, much like the dealing account, the money can't be withdrawn until the child reaches the age of 18, when they're free to withdraw it and do whatever they please with the money. But they can also start managing it from the age of 16. Now with the limitation of only being able to deposit £9,000 each year comes a great tax benefit of tax-free gains. So all investments, when you sell them for a profit, will be completely exempt from capital gains tax. Dividends will also never be taxed, even if you exceed the £2,000 dividend allowance each year. So Junior ISA is really a great option if you're planning on depositing a large amount of money over time and making the most of that £9,000 limit each year. So over time you can build up a large amount of money that's completely tax-free for that child. But obviously it will take a bit of consideration and continual investing to be able to take advantage of these tax benefits. As if you're investing with a smaller amount of money, you may not actually be able to take advantage of these tax benefits, and a dealing account might actually be a fine option for you. So finally we have the Junior SIPP, or Self-Invested Personal Pension. So just like with a Junior ISA, all gains are completely tax-free, so you're never going to have to pay capital gains tax or tax on dividends. And you can set up a Junior SIPP on behalf of your child when they're at any age. But the biggest limitation of a Junior SIPP is how inflexible it is. So because it's a pension product, you'll only actually be able to withdraw the money once you reach the age of 55, which is the age you're allowed to withdraw from a private pension. So whereas with the other two, when the child reaches the age of 18, you can actually withdraw the money. But with a Junior SIPP, it simply turns into an adult SIPP account. So when you do reach the age of 55 and want to start withdrawing from your private pension, this will basically be taxed just like regular income. However, usually the first 25% is tax-free. Now with this limitation of not being able to withdraw the money for a very long time comes massive tax advantages and tax relief. So because it's a private pension, any money that's deposited will be entitled to 20% of tax relief. However, this is capped at £3,600 that you can deposit each year. So what this means is, if you actually deposit the maximum each year, you'll only need to deposit £2,880, and the government will top up the rest to £3,600, taking into account that 20% of tax relief. And another difference with the Junior SIPP, the child can't actually start managing the funds until they reach the age of 18 rather than 16 with the other two. So this is a really good option if you want to give your child a head start on their pension, as it has some really appealing tax advantages. However, it is really a big commitment, as that child's not going to be able to access the money until they reach the age of 55. So there we have it, that basically covers all the different account options available out there for under 18s. So I think a junior dealing account and a Junior ISA is a really great option if you want to start investing on behalf of your child for when they reach the age of 18, so that they can actually use that money. And also teach them the process of investing along the way, as they'll have the option of being able to manage it themselves from the age of 16 if that's something they desire. But also being able to use that money when they reach the age of 18 could be particularly useful if maybe the money's intended for them to use when they go to university, or maybe want to buy a property or something else. But a Junior SIPP is a bit more of a long-term strategy, which will only be accessible in the very distant future for that child. So this is really only a good option if you want to give them a head start on their pension, as otherwise it will just be money that's tied up that can't be accessed. But also, as I touched on, if you are investing on behalf of a child but you think you might actually need the money for yourself, it will be better to not set up a junior account, as the money does get transferred to their ownership as soon as you put money into that account, so you won't be able to withdraw it for your own needs. There we have it, that basically covers everything for today, guys. I hope that clarifies what the differences are between the accounts out there, and hopefully you can see a bit more clearly as to which one might be a good fit for you. And like I said, if you are interested in learning about the different account options out there for adults, I'll leave a link down below to that video as well. Now if you did make it this far, thank you so much for watching, and if you did enjoy it or feel like you learned something new, I'd really appreciate it if you could smash that like button, as it really helps me out and helps out with the YouTube algorithm to get my videos shared by YouTube so that more people that might find them useful get to see them. And if you are new around here, like I said, this is the place to be for all things money related. So from money saving tips to what are the best credit cards out there at the moment, this is the place to be. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell so you never miss a video. And do let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have you been considering setting up one of these accounts, or do you have one already? I'd love to know, and if you have any feedback from me, I'd really appreciate it. And also, as always, if you do have any questions, feel free to just drop them in the comments and I'll make sure to respond to all of them. But with that being said, guys, take it easy and keep saving.